Hey, my name's James Nicholson and welcome to this video. In this video, I'm going to talk about the modern method of auction. Are they something that you should be looking at to find great deals as a property investor? What should you be looking out for and everything else besides that? So make sure you watch this video to the end because I'm going to explain everything that you guys need to know when you're looking at properties that are modern method of auction. Now, this channel is all about growing a property portfolio and I want you to join us on this journey. Join me on the journey where I'm building a property portfolio for my two daughters, Georgia, who's 21, Emily, who's 1, and also growing my own property portfolio as well. You're going to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. So while you're here, take that finger of power, smash that subscribe button, and hit the bell notification. Now let's have a look at the modern method of auction. So when you're looking at Rightmove, so have a look through, this is a property here that I've found in Rotherham. And this property here is on a modern method of auction. Modern auction, right? You can see here. Now you might have seen these types of properties and wondered exactly what are they all about and what's the difference between these and a normal auction property. So let's go into that. So a normal auction is where an auction will have a set date, whether it's online or in a hotel. And on that date, there will be a number of lots that will be sold on that day. So people will be focused. My most recent transaction was an auction purchase and the auction started at 10 o'clock and it went on until around 1 o'clock. So it was a focused period of time and lots were before that and lots were after that. Auction lots were before and after that. Now with the normal auction, you have various fees. So there is a fee that the seller will need to pay to list the property. The buyer, who was me, I have to pay a fee which was £1,000 to buy that property. And there could be other fees which you want to check in a legal pack, right? So that auction, normal standard auctions, happen on a certain date. Now, modern auctions are slightly different. Now, a modern auction is maybe something that happens over a period of weeks or months or days. It could have any real length of time. It's not likely to be a short period though, like an hour or two. So they normally go on for a few days at the very, very least, but normally maybe a week or two. And how you work with a modern auction can be fairly similar, right? So this one here is with William H. Brown up in Rotherham, and so there'll be certain things that you need to do. So if you wanted to have a look at this property here, which looks like it obviously needs renovation, so it could be a good investment, you'll need to register with William H. Brown. You'll need to give them ID and billing, like proof of address, right, which you would do in a normal auction. You might also have to show them proof of funds as well. That's not uncommon, just to make sure that they've got all your details and that you're someone that really can bid. They don't want people wasting their time, right? And so when you call these guys, so they want you to call and place a bid with them. So their goal here is to get you to call up and place a bid, and they'll tell you at the time, right, this auction finishes in 2 weeks, for example, or next Friday, right? They'll tell you whatever time scale that is. So you'll have the time to get registered, do your ID checks and all of that sorts of stuff. Now, where this is very different is the fees here on the whole are paid by the buyer, right? So this property here, they're saying that the first bid that they've got at the moment is for £200,000. So you know that if you're going to bid, you've got to pay more than that £200,000. So I could go in and bid at £201,000, for example. Right. Now, when that completes, I will then be charged, if I was the winning bidder in this instance, now I'm going to have to pay a fee, which is quite a lot, and so the fee here is up to 4.2%, and a minimum of £6,000. So even if I won at this bid here, let's just say for example it's 4%, that means that I would have to pay a fee of £8,000 to secure this property. So you have to take that into consideration when bidding to make sure that you're not going to overpay for this. Now that money needs to be paid pretty much straight away on your bid being successful, right? And the minimum, which they've already gone over, that you'd have to pay is £6,000. And this is on top, look, this fee is on top of the purchase price, right? So that's really a consideration here. So if you bought this for £200,000, you'd actually pay £208,000 plus, in fact, you'd also pay stamp duty and legals on top of that. So you could easily get this to close to £220,000. Now, I'm not saying you can't get good deals with modern auctions, but I'm just trying to make you aware of what actually happens when this happens. So normally, most modern auctions, this one's a bit of a more pricey property, but if it's a cheaper property, they'll say a minimum of 5%. So on your bid being successful in the period of time that they set, the week or so, then you have to give them 5%. Now that 5% is as well on top of stamp duty. So let's just say stamp duty was, so let's say it was £100,000 property and stamp duty made it £103,000. Then you need to pay the 5% of the whole £103,000. So it's a little bit of difference there, but you just have to be aware, and you can call the auction house and they'll give you an estimate on what the fees will be, because they want you to obviously bid and be successful. Now, with a normal auction, a standard auction in an auction room or online, when you win the bid, you've exchanged contracts, so you're quite far through the process of actually buying. A normal auction, you have 28 days to complete, right? And it's still, so it's quite time sensitive here. You've got 28 days to complete the purchase. So you need to get funds in place, which means getting a mortgage pretty tough, because you've got to get surveyors around and all this stuff. So it wouldn't be great to get a mortgage on this. Now, with a modern method of auction, you've got 56 days, which sounds like a lot longer, but here's what you need to consider. A lot of them will have special terms and conditions that will say you've got to exchange contracts by the 20th day. So they'll say you've got 56 days to do it, but you've got to exchange contracts. That means everything needs to be in place, ready to go by the 20th day. So actually, you've got less time than a normal auction, possibly. So you need to find out, when does exchange of contracts happen? So if you're going to bid on something like this, you need to make sure you check any legal documentation you can before and ask these sorts of questions. Now, what that means is that you probably couldn't buy on a mortgage either, right? You would need to have the cash available, because if you had a mortgage that was going through the process and it wasn't all ready to go, the solicitor legally isn't allowed to let you to exchange contracts at that point. So that's another consideration here. So you've got 20 days to do this. Now, do I like modern method of auction? I'm not massively a fan of this type of property purchase, if I'm totally honest. I think the fees are pretty high, or very high, and they're all on the buyer. What that, I feel, means is that the seller probably won't get the best price for the property, and the only person that does really well from this is the estate agent here. So the estate agent, if they were to sell this house through their normal estate agency, they might be looking at getting along the lines of 1% for selling this, so £2,000, right? Whereas with this modern method of auction here, they're looking to get at least £8,000, nearer £10,000 for selling a property. So the estate agent does really, really well out of this, and that's why I think a lot of them in certain areas are starting to do this strategy, because imagine you sell this, you make £10,000 on this, you sell 10 houses in a month, that's 10 times 10, it's £100,000 in fees that you've made. So it really is something that you've got to go in fully understanding how it works. Now, I hope that was just a real quick whistle-stop tour on how it worked. If you're looking at a property and you think, you know what, I do like that property, I think it all stacks up, even with the big fees on it, it's still below market value, then make sure you just get good legal advice on that. Get a solicitor to take you and show you through this process to make sure that you really get it. Now, look, I've also recently, as I said, purchased through an auction, and I recorded all of that. It was an online auction, screen recorded what I did, talked through everything that I did prior to the auction. And if you want to watch that, I've pinned a comment below. It'll also come up at the end of this video. And as I said, I'd love to join us on this journey of property investment. We've just launched a Facebook group, which we're going to put in the description as well. So do join us in there, ask any property questions you've got, and if you could like this video, that would really help me, and comment any questions you've got and subscribe. That's it. So do check out all the other videos on this channel. We love helping, and we hope you start your property journey soon, or if you're already on that journey, that you're having great success and you learn some new stuff as well. That's it from me. I'm James. I'll see you guys very soon. Bye for now.